Hi, everyone. It's Genene. Welcome back to day 15 of our 30-day yoga journey. Today, we'll take a moment to reflect on how far we've come and where we need to adjust our goals for the remaining half of this journey. You may need a strap today, but it's not necessary. But do remember to subscribe to my channel so that you'll be notified of all my upcoming videos if you haven't already subscribed. And then at the end, please remember to like this video if you liked it. And then take your comfortable seated position and we'll begin. So legs cross-legged, knees as high as hip bones, not higher. Comfortable cross-legged position found. Let's all take a deep breath in, letting your lungs fill with air. And then exhale, releasing any tension you might be holding on to. Close your eyes. And bring your attention to how you're feeling today. Join your hands together, connecting your thumbs with your heart, stating your intention for this practice at your halfway point. Today, you'll be revisiting some of the asanas that we have done in the past, and you'll be invited to check in, see how they're different, how they're the same. And then either declare out loud or silently, I am open to reflecting on my progress, adjusting my goals, and continuing to progress my yoga journey. Let this affirmation guide you as you move forward. Gently release your hands down to your thighs. Allow your eyes to open. And inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Reach to the sky, feeling this stretch through both sides of your body. Inhaling it, exhaling, arms down by your sides. Let's come to hands and knees for a few cat-cows to warm our entire spine. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hip bones. And then driving this from your pelvis, begin by tilting the top rim of your pelvis forward, extending your spine all the way through the crown of your head on an inhale. And then exhale, the reverse happens. Draw the tailbone down, lift the belly up, head down, rounding spine, flexing spine. And then moving on an inhale into that cow, and an exhale into the cat. 2 more on your own, remembering that progress is not perfection. Perfection is never an ideal. It's not drawing you towards something greater where there's always more. Exhale, round. 1 more. Progress is growth. self-awareness and taking steps towards your growth. Come back to neutral spine wherever you're at. And child's pose, big toes together, knees wide. And take the time to make this a comfortable position for you. So if you need a bunch of props underneath your torso today, if you need a block or 2 blocks underneath your forehead, whatever you need for yourself, listening to your body and honoring what you're feeling today. Pay attention to how does this feel compared to day one? Where does it feel better? I look forward to hearing. Take your hands underneath your shoulders and then press yourself up. Now come to hands and knees. From hands and knees, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Lift your knees, press your thighs up and back. Feel the stretch in your spine. From your right leg, keep your big toes pointed straight down so you're not opening the hips in this one. Inhale, right leg in the air. Stretch the right leg up and reach your left heel down. And then exhale, right knee in between your hands, however you can get it there. Start with a bend in your back leg. Lengthen your spine. And then straighten the back leg. Well, that's easy down here. Wait till we come up. So firm your pelvic floor. Then rise up for this high lunge crescent pose. Reach your arms either out in front of you and overhead or out to the side and overhead. And then see if you can get your front leg at 90 degrees. If this is not working for you, if you're putting a crunch in your low back, try bending that back knee, lengthening the spine, and then playing with your practice. How much can you straighten your back leg? Exhale, hand comes down to the ground. Right leg comes back, downward facing dog. Lift your strong left leg in the air. Exhale, knee to chest, and then step it through. Take your time so you're not just throwing yourself up into this high lunge. You're gathering all your strength first. Then when you're ready, you lift up and maybe you play with bending that back knee, lengthening through your spine, and then play with the back thigh lifting up as the front thigh reaches down. Exhale, hands down to the floor, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, plank. Gazing at the floor in front of you about 3 feet. Nice neutral spine, parallel with the earth, and you're drawing into your focus for this 30 days. Knees can be down on the floor or stay lifted. For chaturanga, lower down to the floor. Shalabhasana, take your arms by your side, and then inhale, lift everything off the ground. Extend from tailbone to crown of head. Reach out through your legs. Feel the strength you're building in your spine. Now lower your legs and take your hands in line with your chest. And inhale, lift cobra. Lift your heart. Shoulder blades on your back. Lift your spine. Exhale, lower down. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Walk or jump your feet forward. And rise to stand. Reach up through the arms. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. And then take a nice wide stance. So this is where you might need a block. I didn't even tell you that you might need a block, but you might. Trikonasana. Left foot turns in slightly. You might remember this one, right? Right foot turns out 90 degrees. You might have done it 100 million times. Inhale, arms out to the sides. Exhale, right hand down, left hand up. Sounds simple. You'd be surprised how many times you say that, and yet somehow this top shoulder will go forward and the back hand will try to keep moving back into the back plane. So it's just simple. You're just keeping your arms stretched out in the same plane as your torso. Feel beneath you, your feet, especially the ball of your right foot, pressing into earth so that you can turn the belly and the heart open. Gaze can be where you want it, and then inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down, switch sides. Left foot turns out 90 degrees. Right foot turns out in slightly. So it's not turned out. The hips don't like that. Inhale, arms out to the sides. And then go slowly so that you're noticing what it takes to keep you going straight down. And then imagine you're forming triangles, Trikonasana, triangle pose, instead of collapsing pose. Not rounded triangles, long lines. Shoulders back. And inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower your arms down. Bring your legs together for Tadasana. And now, if you have a strap, grab it. You don't need, like I said, you don't need it. But you formed a loop here, and you can wrap it around the ball of your foot. Ekahasta Padangusthasana. One hand grabs your foot toes. So if you have the strap, you put it here. If you don't, and you have the flexibility, you're going to take your first two fingers and wrap them around the inside of the big toe. So stand on your left leg to start and reach your right leg out in front of you. So if you have pain in your back or anything going on in your back, easier to bend the knee rather than lift it straight out in front of you. Little trick. And then that left thigh bone wants to follow the right. Don't let it. Keep it rooting back. So stay here. If you have your fingers, it's grabbing the big toe and then stretching out like so. Find the steadiness of your gaze focused on something that's not moving out in front of you. Where's your gaze? If it's down, it tends to depress you and hurt your poor neck. Release. Other side. So you can stay right where you're at. Just move the strap. Just move your fingers. So on this side, you can see the standing leg a little better. It points straight ahead. You stretch it out. So you'll see there's this funny tendency of trying to lean back. It's not funny, there's a reason. Your hamstrings are tight. You're trying to get away from the stretch. So think about taking your heart forward, giving yourself a hug with your glutes, and lengthening down through your tailbone and up through the crown of your head. And the standing leg is drawing back so that your abs have to work. And then you fall over and then you do it again. So if you do too much, you fall over. It's a balance. Not too much, not too little. And then release. So your strap, you don't need it anymore. And then come to Tadasana. From Tadasana, stand at the front of your mat, so wherever that is for you. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, bow forwards, Uttanasana. We'll get a nice hamstring stretch. Firm your legs. Let your legs help you stretch. Sitting bones lift up to the sky. Crown of head draws down. Inhale, come up to standing. You can walk your hands up your legs, or with neutral spine, you can have your hands on your hips. Lots of options here. And then from here, we did triangle pose. Let's try doing modified side angle pose. So from here, there's a lot of ways to get into it. So way number one, from Tadasana, step your left leg back. Bring your left knee down to the floor. If that was too hard, then go back to Uttanasana. Hands on the floor, step that left leg back. Easier. Then left hand down, underneath left shoulder. Inhale, right arm up to the sky. Stretch. Reach your right arm across your right ear, palm faces down. Maybe you lift the back knee off of the ground. Maybe that's too intense. Inhale, right arm up to the sky. Set that right hand down. Step the left leg forward, and you either just step that right leg back or come all the way up to standing and then do it from standing. Your choice. If you want it harder, from standing, crescent pose. And from here, you simply place the right hand down and left arm up, and never even let the right knee, touch the floor. And then reach the left arm across the left ear. Get a nice stretch from left fingertips all the way to that left hip. And then inhale, left arm up to the sky. Exhale, left hand comes down, and everyone together, downward facing dog. Come down onto your knees, lie down onto your backs. Knees are going to be bent, feet flat, feet parallel. We're going into a moving bridge. So make sure you get ponytails out of the way so you have a nice steady base for your head. And then adjust your feet as necessary. Press straight down through your legs. Inhale, lift your hips, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, lower down. Anytime this is hurting your back, you back off by keeping your spine in neutral and waiting until your body says it's okay to go and turn this into a back bend. If you don't have that problem, Then you're lifting all the way up onto the shoulders, every vertebrae of your spine off of the ground. And one more. Inhale, lift and hold. You can take your shoulders a little bit under. Lift your hips a little higher. Maybe you clasp your hands, maybe you don't. And maybe try clasping them the other way now. Release the hands, lower down, cross right ankle over left thigh. Now you might stay here. You might go, yep, my body doesn't want to go any further, or you lift the left leg off the ground. And if that's okay, you can reach through, grab a hold of the left shin, and draw the knee into your chest. And then switch sides. So left foot comes down, and then cross left ankle over right thigh, and knee to chest, or not. Uncross the legs, simple twist, straighten both legs. Well, straighten your left leg, draw your right knee into your chest. Roll onto your right outer hip, crossing that right leg over to the left. Inhale back to center. Switch sides, knee into chest. Now it's the left hand that comes down to the floor to help push the floor away. Roll onto your right outer hip. Nice little release for the spine. Inhale back to center. Both knees into chest. Pull the belly in. Push the low back into the floor. And then Shavasana. Straighten the legs. Palms face up. You may stay here longer or take a deeper breath. See how intently you can feel your body, where it connects with the earth, where the earth begins and your body ends. Feel the subtleties that maybe you weren't aware of just a few weeks ago. And then wiggling toes, fingers, rolling ankles, wrists. Inhale, stretch your arms, point your toes. Exhale your arms back down by your sides, bending your knees and rolling onto your right side. Press yourself up to a seated position. Find that cross-legged position again and see where it feels different, where it feels the same. Join your hands together, connect your thumbs with your heart, and take this opportunity to check in with how did this feel different, specifically dwelling on where it felt better than in the first 14 days of practice when you did these asanas. And perhaps here's where you choose to make a commitment to spend maybe just 10 minutes today at some point to journal about your experience so far on your 30-day journey. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Namaste.